Hi, in this video, we are going to look at the term metaphor. I'm sure you must have come across this literary term either in school or in junior college when you may have studied it along with simile and you may have understood it as an indirect comparison because that is what metaphor is most commonly described as, where simile is a direct or an explicit comparison and metaphor is an indirect or implicit comparison. For example, if we say she is as beautiful as a rose, it is simile because we are using the word as to make a direct comparison between the rose and the girl in question. On the other hand, in a metaphor, in the case of a metaphor, we might say something like she's the morning sun or she's the rose, where the comparison is embedded. We are not using any grammatical words, and the unique element about a metaphor is that two things that are often unlike but may have something in common are compared. So if I say he was a lion in the fight, I don't really mean that he suddenly metamorphosed or transformed into a lion. The man in question grew nails and claws and fangs and teeth and gave blood curdling howls. No. So in that sense, the human and the lion are two very distinct species and they are very removed from each other. What I mean if I say that he was a lion in the fight is that I am referring to just one attribute, one or two attributes of the lion, and I am taking those qualities of the lion and attributing them to a human being. So probably a lion's strength or a lion's courage, right? Or or a lion's ability to fight, to put up a fight, or a lion's ability to hunt, to not cow down. So these are the qualities that I'm taking from the lion and I'm attributing them to the human being. So on the surface, um, though the human being has got nothing in common with the lion, there could be qualities that are inherent in the lion that I would like to transfer to another person or another entity or another situation, right? Therefore, metaphor is known to create implicit comparisons without the express use of the words like or as. So the comparison is not a literal comparison, but one kind of object or attribute or an idea is used in place of another. It is used to substitute another to suggest a likeness. So it just suggests a likeness. Not say it does not say that these two are exactly the same, it just suggests a likeness. Now, let's look at an example over here. Metaphor is especially used used very extensively and is very common in literature, and it is also a very useful literary device for using specific images or concepts to state abstract truths, because literature to a great extent dwells in the realm of the abstract, and metaphor is used to concretize that abstract, right? So, for example, if I say life is a half full glass of water, so you may have heard of this. I'm sure you know about this imagery of the half full, half empty glass of water. Now, there is an implicit comparison in this glass to life. So, how do you look at the life? How do you look at the glass? Some say it is half full, and some say it is half empty. So, it all depends on how you look at life, right? Where if you're an optimist, you will say the glass is half full, which means there's a lot life has to offer. If you're a pessimist, you will always focus on the half empty part of the glass, which means that you're coming from a position where you're cynical and you don't really expect a great deal out of life. So, this is a very common, universally known metaphor of the half empty, half full glass, which, which has in its imagery an implicit comparison to life or to a situation. It could be even transferred to a situation, right? Where chances are that it could go either way. You could win or you could lose. Or it could be about focusing on one particular aspect, say the positive side of something, or say the negative side, the danger, the pitfalls in something, right? So, metaphor helps in concretizing, in giving a shape, a form, an entity, a tangibility to intangible, abstract ideas, right? Now, if you look at this scene, this is a very famous scene from Romeo and Juliet. I'm sure you're aware of this, of these characters from Shakespeare's famous work. These are lines from Romeo and Juliet. So Romeo is asking Juliet, "What light through?" Romeo is saying this, "What light through yonder window breaks? What light through yonder, yonder over there? What light breaks through the window over there?" So what light do I see coming from the window over there? Now it is not actually light, it is Juliet standing by the window, but he is attributing the qualities of light to Juliet. So Juliet is someone whose very presence lights up Romeo's life. That could be one meaning. The other could refer to her appearance. She's so beautiful, she's so radiant that she's glowing with beauty. So the moment she stands by the window, it is like the sun rising, or it is like some powerful light. So Juliet's physical appearance also has the semblance of a radiant light, and her metaphysical, her spiritual presence for Romeo is uh, life giving. So that is also another kind of semblance that is attributed to Juliet. So, in both senses, the physical and the metaphysical sense, Juliet symbolizes light. So, he uses the qualities or the descriptors that we use for light and transfers them to Juliet to describe her. And instead of saying, "Oh, Juliet, you are like the light," he says, "What light do I see?" So, it's actually Juliet he's referring to. Right now, let's look at some well known metaphors. Laughter is the best medicine. Now, what do we mean by this? Do we mean that we have to drink up laughter like some tonic, or some we have to take it as a tablet? No. Laughter is the best medicine in the sense that if you keep laughing, you will never fall ill, right? So, laughter has medicinal attributes, medicinal qualities. So, similarly, she's just a late bloomer. Is there a black sheep in your family? His heart of stone surprised me. So, it doesn't mean that his heart is actually made of stone. It means that he's very unfeeling, like a stone. A stone will not react, it will not move, it will not wither, it will just be there. It is a symbol of negative resilience. So, it is incapable of expressing anything. You look at a flower, it blooms, it wilts, then it dries, but a stone remains unchanged, right? So it is that unchanging nature of the stone which is attributed to the heart, and that is why we get that is how the metaphor comes up, that his heart of stone surprised me, right? So this is what this was all about metaphors, and I hope you found this session valuable.